Hey, everybody. It's Carmina Maz with the Fit and Healthy After 40 Club. I am so glad you're here. As you're joining, please put a comment in the comments so that I know that you're here live or watching the replay with me. My gym is working with people like you who are action takers and who want to create a body that they love living in. And this challenge is one of the ways that I can help you do that. And so today we're tackling a very important topic: unrealistic expectation. It's such an important topic because many of our dreams and many New Year's resolutions have fallen victim of unmanaged and unrealistic expectations. So let's dive in, shall we? Oh, and by the way, if you're not registered for the challenge yet, you can still join us. We'll catch you up. It's a 21-day challenge, so you have plenty of time. Simply go to bit.ly 21-day wings. So the dash between each word, and I'm gonna post it in the description of the video anyway. So let's agree that it's totally normal for you to have expectations, right? It's part of the human experience. And it's 100% normal for you to have some fear and doubt creep in when you're doing something new, right? And it would be abnormal for you not to have those feelings, right? I mean, come on, right? Because your ego, and I don't mean that in a bad way, your ego, which is a part of your brain, your ego ultimately wants to keep you safe. That's all it wants, right? So it's gonna come up with a lot of different mechanisms to do so. And one of those lovely things is called unrealistic expectations. So by the way, I'm gonna be looking away at my notes from time to time because this is so juicy. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything because I want to give you everything that you need for this challenge and anything that you try to be a success. Okay? So let's talk about 5, 6 of the common thoughts / feelings that are going to come up with for you in this challenge. And that's going to let you know that you have entered the land of unrealistic expectations. Okay. So the first one is perfectionism. Oh my God, I have to do this challenge perfectly or else. The second one is overwhelm. Oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know where to focus. The third feeling that might come up for you is feeling stuck. I can't seem to do anything at all. I'm just stuck. I don't know what to do. The fourth one, feeling behind. If I were doing this perfectly, I wouldn't be so behind. Oh, that must mean I'm bad. I'm bad. I can stick to anything. Sounds familiar? Another feeling that might come up for you is feeling that you are not doing it right. I am not doing those daily tasks. I stink at this. Oh my God, it feels so hard. Yeah. And then the last feeling is, being worried that others are further along than you are. Everyone is doing better than me. Everyone is. Do any of these feelings feel familiar to you? Let me know in the comments which one sound most true for you, whether it's coming up in this challenge or it's something that usually comes up for you when you try something new. Is it perfectionism? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling behind? Are you feeling like you're not doing it right? Worried that others are further ahead than you are? Okay, so let's unpack these because if you remember yesterday, we talked about how, when you remember, we uncovered your treasure map to success. And we learned that your road to success starts with your thought, right? And your thoughts are going to determine are going to create feelings. And those feelings that you feel are going to determine what actions you're going to take and therefore what results you're getting. So it's so important that we become crystal clear about what's getting in our way. All right? So let's take the first one, perfectionism, because that one is a tricky one, right? So you might say you to yourself, I should be doing this challenge perfectly, and anything less than perfect is failure, right? So how might this show up for you, right? Well, for you, you might say to yourself, well, if I can't do this perfectly, it must mean that it's not the right time. It must mean that I should be putting this on hold until everything can be perfect, right? Because if I can't do it perfectly, then I'm not getting the most out of the challenge. And therefore, I might as well quit while I'm ahead. So, if that's what's coming up for you, I'm going to propose that we trade perfection for presence. You don't have, first of all, there's no such thing as perfection, okay? What I want to invite you to do is to simply show up for yourself. And showing up for yourself might mean something different than somebody else. Maybe for you, showing up is being in this Facebook group, right? And participating in the conversation, putting comments, and that for you is showing up. And that brings you joy. It makes you happy. For somebody else, showing up might mean I'm religiously going to be looking for Carmina's emails in the morning so I know what I'm doing and the task for the day, and I'm good. For somebody else, it might be the leaderboard is everything I need. Everything I need is there, so, and that's showing up for me, right? So figure out for you what amount of presence can you contribute to this challenge, and forget about perfection. Okay? Let me know. Give me likes, love, comments if any of that is resonating with you. Okay? Let's examine the second feeling, overwhelm, right? So you might say to yourself or think to yourself, I have to figure out every piece of this challenge or I will fail. And how this might show up in real life for you is that you don't show up at all, right? Because it feels so much that you're like, oh, let me just stop there because it feels easier, right? So instead, I want to remind you, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm sure you know that answer. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So that's what I want to encourage you to do today. One bite at a time. What can I do today with what I have where I'm at? And that's all that is required for you to be successful in this challenge. Don't try to do everything, just do something. Yeah? Can you do that? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's unpack the third feeling, feeling stuck. So you might say or think to yourself, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And if I'm lost, it must mean that I'm stupid and I can't figure this out. Nothing is ever going to work, right? How this might show up for you, and I've heard this a few times already in this challenge. I'm not good at technology. I don't like Facebook. Yes? Okay. Well, let's unpack this for a minute. Feeling stuck just means that there is something that you need to know, feel, or understand. That's it. It doesn't mean anything bad about you. Because once you know, feel, or understand the thing that's holding you up, then you'll be able to move forward again. Okay? So I want to encourage you, if you're unsure of something, just ask. That's why I created that question box for you guys inside the Facebook group. If you have any questions at all, just ask a question in that thread and I will address it. Either I'll reply to the comment or I'll reply in one of the training videos. And actually, I'm going to be having a Q&A session for you next Friday, I think. I forgot this. I don't have the schedule in my head, but that's coming up. So any question that feel, a little bit big, that would be a good thing to address in a training. I'll do that. But, please feel free to ask your questions. Okay. Okay. That takes us to the fourth feeling, which is a feeling of feeling behind, which is a variant of perfectionism, if we think about it. Right. So let's have a come to Jesus moment. Okay. Most of us on this call, on this challenge, you have other responsibilities. Some of you are moms, some of you have a partner, some of you have jobs, some of you might be in school, some of you might have an elderly parent that they're taking care of. So, why do you feel that you need to be on top of everything, including this challenge? Right? So, you might feel like I'm so behind. That must mean that I should just quit. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. What it means is that you need to give yourself some grace and acknowledge that you have a lot going on in your life and that it's okay to be a B student instead of an A student. There are no grades. You're not getting grades in this challenge, okay? And like most anything else in life, you're not getting a grade on. So you'll still get everything you need from the challenge if you just show up for yourself as as much as you can without overwhelming yourself. You're not falling behind. I trust me, you're not falling behind. Okay? And then the last one that I want to talk about is feeling that you're not doing it right. Right? So I want to put you at ease. There is no right way of doing this challenge. Okay. There is not a global committee for the way things should be done right. Okay. You're not going to get graded. You're not going to get punished. You show up the way you are. Okay. And I want to encourage you to really let go of the feeling that you have to get it right, because you really don't. Trust in your ability to figure things out. You know my favorite saying? My favorite is saying, and I have it on my desk. It's everything is possible and there is always a way. Everything is possible and there is always a way. And your way may not be somebody else's way, but there is a way for you to show up and do things the way is right for you in the moment. Because here's the thing, you might take this challenge a few months from now and have a very different experience because you are showing up differently, because you're in a different place, a different season in your life. Do you see what I mean? So trust that whatever you're able to do today is exactly what you need, and that's plenty. Okay? So I want to leave you with a little, it's not an exercise, but it's something that I have my clients do when they start a program with me. I have them create a talisman for themselves. So a talisman is an object, preferably an object that you can touch and feel in the real world, that will remind you of why you signed up for this challenge, right? It could be for any goal, but since we're doing this challenge, just talk about the challenge, right? So a talisman is something physical. So I really like to use jewelry as a talisman because, it's portable. It goes with you everywhere. And every time you feel one of those feelings coming up for you, just touch it. It could be an earring. So for example, for me, I don't wear those big hoops all the time, but whenever I need a boost of confidence, I go to my hoops and red lipstick, right? And for me, for that day, for that particular moment, that is my talisman, right? But again, your talisman could even be like a screen. What do you call it on your phone? The thing that's in the background. I also have one of those. So you can have more than one talisman. The point is to create physical reminders in the world that you can, like every time you see it, every time you hear the song, it could be a song, that it will remind you, oh, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. Okay? So you can do it all, but you cannot do it alone. So I want you to reach out for help and be willing to receive support. And speaking of support, I want, before we wrap up today, I want to address Wendy's question. Wendy had a really good question in the Facebook group, and I'm sure other people have the same question, so I'm going to address it. Wendy asked about the leaderboard. Okay, so let me explain to you. Because I know that different people show up different ways, I have created different touch points for you in this challenge. So you get an email from me, you get a Facebook post in the group, and you also have the leaderboard. Okay. So all of those three things have the same information. It's just different places because some people don't like Facebook, right? So they're never going to join the group, right? I have people who signed up who are not in this group right now, but they're doing the challenge. They're going on the leaderboard and they're clicking on the task, or they're reading the emails and doing the task. Do you see what I mean? Right? So the leaderboard is where it's like the simplified version of this challenge, if you would. So on the leaderboard, every day, you're going to see the 3 tasks that you're supposed to do for the day, right? So it's going to have something to do with drinking water, something to do with walking, and then something to do with taking a break in the middle of the day. Okay, so if memory serves me right, today we are drinking 1 extra cup than we drank yesterday. We are going to be walking for 15 minutes. Check your calendar, it's in your workbook. And then we are also going to spend 5 minutes doing absolutely nothing. That's going to be the challenge. Set your timer, 5 minutes of silence, no Facebook, no text, nothing. Just 5 minutes with yourself. Okay. So that these are your tasks for today. So when you go in the leaderboard, you're going to see, and I'm going to post them after this training. You're going to see 3 new entries for the day. So all you have to do is click on whatever you did. So some days you're going to do all 3, which is amazing. So you click each of them, and next to them, you're going to see how many points each of the tasks are worth, right? And so as you know, the more points you have, the more chances you have to win the big prize, which is a 3 days, 2 nights in a hotel accommodation for 2 in one of 20 cities in the continental US. So it's a big prize. There's a lot of the line, right? So I really encourage you to go on a leaderboard every day and check off the tasks that you did that day. I also post the training, this training. The same training that I do on Facebook is the same one that I post on the leaderboard. That way you can earn points for watching it. So make sure that you click that as well to say, hey, I've watched it. So you're getting your points. So you don't have to do anything else. The first time that you go on the leaderboard, you're going to register with your email address or your Facebook. Doesn't matter. Every time after that, you never have to log in again because it will remember you. Right? It will remember that you signed up, and it will bring up a screen. You'll see confettis come down, and then you'll see the list of the tasks that you can do and how many points each task earns you. Okay? So it's just a way to make it fun and also to give you another place to get the same information if you don't want to join the party on Facebook, although I tell you, you're missing out on a lot. Okay. And yeah, so that's it. So I hope that answers your question, Wendy. Thank you so much for asking it. I know this was useful for others. And with that, I'm going to end because I'm already at 20 minutes. I know you got things to do on a Saturday morning. Thank you so very much for being here with me today, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 o'clock for our Sassy Sunday surprise. Don't miss it. All right, take care. Bye for now.